Thanks, dude. What's up, y'all? Let me know if you can hear me. It's been a minute. I didn't stream last week. I don't remember what was going on. Oh, I was working. That's what it was. I was in the middle of a shutdown in my facility. So I'm coming off a 70, almost 80-hour week. But I've recovered. Hey, I got my second shot. So there's that. I went yesterday. I'm a little disappointed, too. I was hoping to have a little side effect. That way I know it's working. So far, nothing. We'll see what's going on. Man, there were people on here early. Filipino Reefer. I understand that if I say Filipino Reefer, Reaper, that with the accent, I don't like that. Filipino Reefer. I'm going to stick with that. What's up, Carlos? Lynn. Let me scroll down. Braveheart. Filipino Reefer was busy today. Carlos, yeah, man. Father, mother, Taylor, I would wait for that cycle. I'd be a little worried about the ammonia, but that's just me. J Fusion, Candyman. I'm watching my little counter up there because our goal, tell your friends, tell your neighbors, our goal is trying to get to 80 concurrents so we can give away this little pump over here. Just dump it. That's a mess. What up, Gabe? Yeah, I went into the shower with the trimmers and I had at it with my do. I'm not whatever. I suppose I could go get my hair cut at the haircut in place, but really this saves me money. What up, Remy? Remy's here for the giveaway. I know it. Didn't feel anything from your second shot. See, man. All right, here's what's up. I'm having my third shot now. I fell for it. All right, dig it. Here's what we're going to do. First, if we get to 80 concurrents, right now we're at 20. If we get to 80 concurrents, this is in my garage. I have a whole bunch that are already open. I don't need this one. I think this is a Black Friday jobber anyway. So I saved a couple dollars on me. Ain't nobody sponsoring this but your boy Jimbo. So let's get to 80. Sitting at 20. We've already picked a number. Lynn did. We're going to roll with it. And then, now we're down to 18. Oh, that's the opposite way. And we're going to set this one loose somewhere. What's the haps? What happened? So, we're going to add to the playlist the Telegram douche nozzle get psyched playlist. To that, we're adding a little Underworld Rez, the Bass Nectar remix. One of my favorites. All right, let's get through some of this, So, I'll start at the bottom. A little shot action, a little talking about the new Kessel action. I streamed to Instagram yesterday when I got the shot, and that was cool. Also, listening to Reef Bum and Keith and Chris Mackley work through a couple things with Chris so he can understand how an LED driver truly works. And he was super cool about that. I made this video here. We talked about it. He and I went back and forth, got some advice from him as well. So I really appreciate being able to chat him up a little bit here and there. This is a forest fire Didge. I dig how they skin over like that, right? Little nighttime, little morning shot. This thing, you know how much this thing is? You look this thing up. These are 24-inch Reef Brights, which are overpriced anyway. And then there's this little bracket. And I guess it comes with a hanging kit. $995. No, people. Come on. People just keep... You ever driven by these people's places of business? See what they're driving? That's what you're funding. You're not paying for any R&D. You're not paying for any making that damn Reef Bright any better. We can do this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to talk to my kid and have him design a bracket to mount multiple AliExpress bars on a rotatable doohickey jobber right there. We'll make that out of acrylic and make it approachable. For the everyday reefer, $995 is just ridiculous. Come on. Speaking of Ali E, this is my modified Ali E right there. That's been a good light. That continues to work. Haven't had to mess with it. That's the one I baked in the oven and changed the spectrum. Works great. This Pectinia that Lynn gave me, I can't wait for that thing to grow a little more so I can frag it. That thing is beautiful. Cool colors. Frag tank still kicking. I'm not out of the woods yet. I think for the most part I'm okay. But I think the tank is slowly recovering from its funkiness. This thing, that brain thing, this thing, I don't know what this is. I got this from John over at CMOS, Chesapeake Marine. It looks like a chalice, and it has a very interesting growth pattern. I'm assuming it's wild. I don't know what it is, but it's growing and living, so I moved it over to the display. And then the closet in the basement with the 40 breeder. That's how packed full that place is. That's a lot of fun. Hey, John. There's John right there. Oh. Taylor, that's your sister-in-law? That's cool. Those rookie numbers. What's up, Thomas? What's up, Phil? Phil, did I see you pick up some dry nitrates for mixing up? I think I did. I'm trying to remember. I'm a little slow. What's up, Adam? All right, dig it. So I'm 3D printing right now. What I'm 3D printing right now is one of those fancy random flow generators. I want to see how that comes out. So just like the one you can buy, you can print one in about 3 hours. So that's the noise you hear behind me. And these are the tiny little. I think people own the name Shroom Saver. I think it is. I think it's like encyclopedia. I think it's like Kleenex. I think it's like any name, whether a brand name or not, that you apply towards a normal thing that everybody has in society. I believe that's what we should do with Shroom Saver. We should any sweet little shroom cocoon, shroom whatever holder doohickey shall now be known as a Shroom Saver, no matter from who you purchase or from whom it is given. It is now a Shroom Saver. So my kid made this little lid. Dig that. Isn't that cool? And this is a tiny little single cup Shroom Saver. I've showed these before, but now I got a whole bunch of them printed. So hit me up. And like I said over on Instagram, if you need the STL for both, free. If you it's the flight test model. If you can print it yourself, it's free. If you want one, I'll sell them to you cheap. Cool. What's up, Dar Sanchez? Chalice waterfall, I think. Where'd that come from? That's an interesting chalice. It has interesting sweepers too. Candyman, my AliExpress bar is 420-ish, 450, and 470. So 450, 470 is like a Reef Bright Spectrum. And added a little 420 down there. You could also do 410 if you wanted to replicate that deep violet that you see with Ecotech. Is that cool? What's up, Chris? I sure did. Mix mod. Awesome. Very cool. I hope that works out for you. Let me know how that goes, Phil. Q-tip. You want a 3D printed Q-tip? I've seen what you get 3D printed, Gabe. I know how you roll, bro. Use the calc you talked about. Very cool. Yep. Found a random flow, cuts way down on the flow. Not worth it in my opinion. Maybe it's just a bad design. Don't know, that's interesting. I know that Moki's running 2, if not 4, in his big old tank, and he has some pretty decent flow from those things. It will restrict flow by its design, because it does narrow it down a little bit. It's not gonna flow full, but if you have whatever, I just want to try it. Plus, it gives me something to 3D print. You know what I mean? Thanks for the link. That's what I'm talking about, Taylor. Of course. Happy to help. Had a local print me up some for me a while back. He designed it for me. Shibzo, let me send you a pic. Cool. I'm happy to share or print or whatever. Yeah. And create some sweet arched acrylic mounts for AliExpress bars so you could replicate that hyper expensive Reef Bright business that we showed earlier. What else do I got? I like playing with these things. Oh, this little lid comes off. Look, kid designed that perfectly. It just snaps on. It's good. I got me an SLW5. I've got the SLW10 from Jabo. I've got the SLW20 from Jabo, and I wanted to try the 5. So I'm going to be fiddling around with this thing and checking it out. I don't know where I'm going to put it yet. I'll put it in one of the smaller tanks just to see how it works. Happy with that. Also got... Oh, let's show this. We could do this right now. Let me move my drink. All right. Let me see if this camera action works. Let's see. Yep, it's working. So I worked a little ahead on the battery box, but not too far, and we'll talk about that in just a second. But what you can see over here is that I added a USB phone charger doohickey, so you could charge your phone off this big battery right here. And I also added a 12-volt socket like you would have in a car, like for a cigarette lighter. And then this little inverter is a pure sine wave inverter, and it's like $50, and it can sustain 300 watts, which I thought was pretty awesome. So, just powered by the battery. Say hello to the Dodge Viper. Powered by a battery. Boy, oh, how's that cool? Isn't that right? Right? 300 watts. It'll power that light for a smidge, but I'm really showing you. This is only 70 watts, right? This thing's pulling about 70 watts. The reason I grabbed this is because with this battery, you would, oh, hell yeah. You would want to add another battery, but this little inverter can power 300 watt worth of devices off a battery, which I thought was pretty cool. So that's why I put the socket in here, just in case you need some AC. That gives you AC. Cool, right? Roger that, John Curry. Roger that. So that's pretty cool. That's a really interesting chalice. At least I have figured out that it's a chalice, so there's that. Yeah, Adam, I was talking about it. I was talking about an SLW to somebody, and somebody jumped on and said there was a 5, and I looked it up on Amazon, and sure enough, so I bought it. What's up, Prolific Breed? Gas pipe. Can you do one for me and have the middle mount for the Kessel? Gas pipe, what are we talking about? I've already lost track. What was I saying that you need? Hook me up. 36. See, we're going to be a little slow tonight. We're not going to make it. Come on. Get all your fake accounts. Come on. Things I need to do for this. This is the socket. I can switch. Oops. This is the socket for the Ecotech drivers. Right, this is the same one they have. Only this one inserts all the way, but whatever. So what I'm going to add is this to the battery box. And I need to order a bigger socket. I don't think I have a wire. Oh, yeah, I do. I need to order a bigger socket so I could use a jumper wire from the battery box to 24-volt devices like this SLW10 driver. Because in the box, and I'll show that in a minute, is the step up that takes 12 and gives me 24, lower amperage, but that's fine. So I need to still order the sockets for this, so I'm able to go directly from the battery back up to a device like this. Because we have USB, now we have an air pump too. So this is a lithium-ion rechargeable air pump, which I thought was pretty cool and maybe a device that I should have. But it charges in these little USB ports that we built into the battery here. Cool. So that I showed this last time, but I'm adding that. Last thing. There was this one time that I thought I lost my Gen 4 XR30 power supply. I thought I dropped it into the recycle bin, but I didn't, and I found it later. So I ended up buying this LRS 30 or LRS 350-36. This is significantly cheaper than the power supply for an XR30, and this works perfect. If you need a power supply for an XR30 or just a 36-volt power supply, that's going to give you 9.7 amps. This works great. Cool. I found this, so I thought I'd just bring it up. I'll put that link in the description. All right, let's get to this. This one's going to be a little slow. Let me get over here. Let's see if there's any chatter so we keep things going. 10s and 20 less. I have the 10s. Yep. The 30s. Oh, I haven't used a 30, I bet. It's a 3D print for the alley bar. Hold on. Oh yeah, see, I'm not going to do 3D print. I'm going to use the I can switch cameras so when I point. There's a laser right here. So I'll just use acrylic. Like acrylic sheeting. To make that bar mount. Because that's economical. It's not powder coated. It won't chip off like the OEM stuff. That's how we're going to do it. All right, let's get to working. I'm really scared of most of what I'm drinking on time. What we're going to hook up tonight, first I'm going to explain what I did. And it's super cheesy, and don't hate on me, because I am just doing it super cheesy, because it works just fine. This is one of those videos where people are like, oh my God, I can't stand watching. It'd be so boring. You can find those on Reef to Reef if you look hard enough. I mean, I don't blame them. Kind of boring. All right, so here's what we got. We got the battery. And we got the negative hooked up to the negative doohickey. And we got the positives hooked up to the positive doohickeys. This is the 24-volt output. We're going to do that in a minute. This is the 24 output from the step up. this is the shunt that we need to install to get the gauge working. You see, I installed the gauge so we can see battery voltages and current draw and all that kind of business. So we're going to hook this up. What else are we going to do? Oh, we're going to talk about the charger. Because I worked ahead a little, I installed... Now this one, this is dual purpose. I like this, actually. So this is the charger, right, that supports lithium iron phosphates. And on this end is a super cool waterproof connector. Poof. And then I can charge. I can also use this connector with another one of these hooked up to a wire with some gator clips on them to another battery. So I could just, another one of these hooked up to a different battery, I could plug it in here and give this battery way more oomph, like a bigger battery, like the car, like whatever. We talked about that once. So installed that little jobber on the back. I'm digging that. Let's get this gauge working. All I did was cut this gauge out with a knife, with a utility knife, and that seemed to work really well. Thanks, Bill Collins. That's super cool of you. That's very cool. Gas pipe. Maybe. I need to design it. I have the middle mount for the Kessel. That's a bigger deal. We could talk about that. If you want to be able to mount it up with a Kessel, I mean, that takes some 10 millimeter extruded aluminum and then an acrylic mount to hold multiple. You don't need it then. If you just want to use it with a Kessel, you don't need that. Go buy some 10 millimeter extruded aluminum and make yourself a bracket. That'll work. You don't need something for me, right? 3D print for the alley bar. Yeah, all right. Let me know what you're looking at. Because maybe we're talking about the same thing. Maybe we're not. Mod box. You know what I got going back there. I was I was one of the early pre-orders, and it took forever for the Forge to show up. So that's a pass-through. Glowforge. The first gens were Glowforge Pro and just standard. That's a Pro. It works really well. Hasn't broken yet. Hopefully it doesn't. Bill Collins again. That's super cool. Let's wire up this. So this is the display, right? So the negative from here, this is negative low. We got to do this. We got to hook it up here. So we're gonna get us some wire. Where does this go? This is gonna go. This goes up to there. This is ultimately gonna go to here. All right. But the load needs to come off of, so we need to do this. We need to hook this up. We need to hook up a red wire up to this. Let's just get this ready. Have you regret not having bought it in the beginning? Yeah, you know. There's people who sell them used. Find those. Because there's people that upgrade. They decide that 19.5 by 11 is too small, and they go get some of those humongous Chinese ones, and you can find them used. See battery boxes kayakers build for rigging up their kayaks with power. Yeah, for like fishing. Similar to that. Most of those guys are using lead acid. Let's do some hooking. Everybody having a good week? Everybody hanging out, doing good things. Ask me questions while I work. It'll distract me and then I'll hook stuff up wrong and let the magic smoke out. But do it anyway. It's windy outside. Yeah, John, those are cool. Dude, YouTube fishing vids. What's his name? I can't remember his name. Local guy. He just upgraded his kayak, I think. He fishes Montgomery County. We are going to keep this a little long. Thanks for all the info and advice you give. I'm just saying, it's your money, not theirs. Bill Collins, that's a little bit of your money coming my way. And like I said, I really appreciate it. And I agree, right? Yeah, beware of the magic smoke. So much of this stuff is unnecessarily priced. And you have choices. I mean, you can vote with your money. You don't... I should probably disconnect the battery. You know... I mean, those are things you can do. As far as I'm concerned, those are things that you should do. Because if we don't spend our money, or if we don't support those products that might suck, then they're forced to increase quality or lower prices or both. And there are products that legit suck. I already mentioned one of them. Just build quality is terrible. And yet it gets a premium and a lot of support from the industry, and I just don't get it. Ooh, we, the people who are spending the money, get to pick. We get to decide. We don't have to blindly follow what those people are doing, right? I mean, that's how I feel about it. Red's going to red, y'all. You know what? While we're at it, let's go ahead and hook this up. Where's the other one? I'm going to end up soldering all these and taping these up real good so it's not something that will come loose. Remember, I'm a fan of solder. So that's how I roll. That's hooked up. Did I already hook that up? And that's hooked up. This is not hooked up. We'll hook up in a minute. What's up, Algae Warrior? I'm working on setting up my kayak for fishing. Just got a fish finder. What do you have, John? I have a couple of Hobies with those freaking whatever drives, which those things are awesome. I love them. The negative of the battery goes to here, and it also goes to one end of the shunt. So let's do us up a negative. What are those drives called? I can't remember. Those things are cool. What's up, OG? No need to apologize. Hope you're doing well. Now we're going to hook up this negative up here. Remember, I'm going to solder all these twisty together connections when I'm done. 31, a little slow tonight. Nobody wants to know about batteries. They all want to spend $180 on an OEM battery. Oops, I got that too long. I'm not twisting. I can hear my music. All right, from the negative, we're going up here. Everybody having a good week? I wonder if the display is on, because now it has positive and negative. This is going to be one of these videos that you fast forward through because nobody wants to see it. Nope, not yet. That's interesting. I'd expect that to light up. Oh, that's because I didn't put on the juice. Yep, there we go. Boom. That's pretty legit, right? Let's finish hooking it up. What I'll do is I will hook this up and then I will tape it to keep all the wires and silliness protected. Long week. Roger that, long week. I had a very long week. I hope yours was good, productive. Mine was good and productive. From the battery. Well, we get to do some things. This goes here. Yeah, screw this. Let's do this right. I really don't have a whole lot to talk about. Tank's been working okay. The LPS, maybe I'm just going to be an LPS guy now, because the LPS are insane. They are super happy. Like, happier than I expected, happier. So I don't know what's up with that. I'm not gonna question it. I'm just gonna keep growing that stuff. Let's do it old school. I don't like it this way, but it works. With that other crimper, it would have got stuck. Hobies, yeah, those. So I'm just using the pedal drives. 13-foot Pelican, picked up sheet, Facebook Marketplace. Cool. Where you fish? We'll have to hook up. That'd be fun. I'd like to get. I was talking to somebody, dude. He was up north of the tunnel, up on the rivers. He did some cats and smallies and that kind of thing. What I want to do is get into the lower basin, Potomac, and get in on some of that. Snakehead. I've never caught a snakehead. My kid needs to catch a snakehead. He's been working. He's a multi-species kind of kid. I mean, you got a tiger muskie here locally. It's about time to get back out on the lake. It'd be fun to go catch a snakehead. What's up, Bandit? What's up, Andrew? Calc is doing the trick for pH for sure. That's legit. Calc. All right, in talking with Chris Mackley, he reaffirmed my belief that Calc is the magic. It's the pimp juice. What I would do, and John Curry's, thanks, Remy. Thank you very much, sir. Therapy. Man, I enjoy talking with you a whole lot. I think it's cool that we get to talk. So take your money back, because I get a lot out of it too. That was I saying. Calc. So I believe, and maybe John Curry can confirm, that every reefer should start with calc. If you have alkalinity uptake and it is surpassing your water change replenishment, which it probably is, really, that's not hard to do. You should dose calc. And you don't need anything fancy. You don't need a calc stir. If you want to get all fancy and have a calc stir, there's nothing wrong with that. But I think you should dose calc. Period. Right? What do I want to do here? I want to do this. And then if your tank starts surpassing, I mean, maybe you're just putting too much calc in the tank. Oh, wait a minute. This is going to be a big one. Yeah. And then you could do 2-part, or you could do calcium reactor. See, that makes sense to me. Start with calc until you overwhelm the calc's ability to replenish, and then start supplementing. Never take away the calc. Now, the science that Chris was talking about, I don't know. I'm not a chemist. I have no idea. That dude can grow some freaking corals, and it's unfortunate that he's wholesale. Unless we all talk Lynn, Reef Nerd, into opening up a shop, and then she can order us a whole bunch of wholesale business, and she can live her life of luxury selling us all corals, right? That doesn't sound bad. That sounds reasonable, right? Seems like the right thing to do. Bahama Rama requests a refund. Roger that, sir. One day, since I'm doubled up, and I think you're single shot, one of these days soon, we're going to go have us a beer. Does that mean I just have to drive to St. Louis again? Because I'll do it. I'll do it. All right, I think I'm done with this. Where's this go? Let's hook this up on him here. This is from the battery charger side. This little spaghetti mess is going to look like this, and that's okay because it's all hooked up right, so that's fine. Chesapeake Bay, rivers mostly. Where do you put in over by the bridge and just fish for like white perch and stuff along the bridge? That's fun. I've done that. Basement sump. Candyman, what I miss? Mendoza calc, 2 tablespoons per gallon. 2 teaspoons per gallon. Sorry. That is the right mixture. 2 teaspoons per gallon. Almost 0 increase in pH. I don't get it. I don't get it either. Because I see a difference. Keep doing it. What about your alkalinity? What's your alkalinity doing? You got to pay attention to that. Snakeheads are tasty. I have not. It's an edible? It's something you should chow down on? What's it taste like? Because I'm down for that. This one goes on the other side. And then that hooks up to this negative. Oh, we're going to get to see some draw. All we're doing today, and obviously you can tell, is we're just hooking up the meter. And although it looks a little complicated, it really isn't. I'm just sort of making it look more complicated and messy. Agreed to use calc for 9 years alone until my demand became higher. Then I could replenish with calc. Good stuff. Yep. You're using a calcium reactor. Calcium reactors and pH. Yeah, I think you just got to give it some time. So, do you have the opportunity to back off on Candyman? To back off on the calcium reactor and let the calc make up the difference? Like max dose what you can manage with calc, and then supplement with the calcium reactor. Because then you realize the benefits very quickly of the calc, and you just back that calcium reactor off. Does that make sense? Is there an advantage of calc over two-part? Yeah, so there is. It's not so much of an advantage as it is what I recommend that you start dosing first because the pH benefits. So, yes, the benefit over two-part is improved pH. And I know people say don't chase pH, and that's cool, don't chase it, but sure as hell do everything you can to make it better. Is that chasing? Maybe that's chasing. My bad. And one of the best things you can do is add calc. So whatever you're dosing now, back it off, introduce calc, slowly back it off such that you replace it with calc, or at least you get to the point where you can't put any more calc into the tank without tripping your high level sump, right? Like you're just dosing too much in there. And then start dosing whatever other supplement that you're down for. Thanks, Paula Pal. That's very cool of you. Thank you so much. What would you like to see? What content? If you're going to be nice enough to throw me $5, what content would you like to see? So does that make sense? Always start with calc. When your corals overwhelm your ability to dose calc in a tank, like if you're starting to pump, I pump about a half a gallon of calc in my tank a day, and that's all I can support with summertime evaporation. So I don't change it. I could dose more in the winter, but that would be, I don't want to do that. I don't want to chase that number. So I just dose a half a gallon of calc per day. BRS 1.1 ml with calc is a great pump. See, John said it right there. It's the first thing you should do. If you're going to dose anything, understand what your 24-hour alkalinity drop is. You have to know that. You have to know what your alkalinity drop is. So measure your alkalinity, turn off all dosing, measure 24 hours later, and see what that drop is. You have to know that number. And then use some of the online calculators. If you can't find one, hit me up. I'll send you one to determine how much calc you can add to your tank to catch you back up from your 24-hour drop, right? I'm missing a wire. There it is. I need to go from this side of the shunt back. Let me check up on questions. What you wish? What you wish, Lynn? What'd you say? Yeah, there it is. Meet halfway. Somewhere in Ohio. I mean, yeah, why not? We could crash. Well, that's probably a little far north. We'll go crash my aunt and uncle's house. They don't want to get the vaccine. Any issue with the BRS gunking up with calc? No, it's a peristaltic. Peristaltics don't gunk up with calc. The end of the tube may, and you got to pay attention to that. But peristaltics themselves, no ill effects when dosing calc. You don't have to worry about it. Just keep an eye on the tubing, and you'll be good. Oh, there was another one that's longer. I'm going to use that. Is it longer? Oh yeah, maybe it's this one. Does that make sense? Those are good pumps. You can't run them full, like you can't run them all the time because the AC motors and the gearboxes. I think it's the gearboxes that start sounding a little funky. You can take the gearbox apart and clean it up. That'd be cool. But the gearbox does get a little funky. It gets a little loud. I've installed a couple of worm drives in there, and that works too, but those things are kind of loud. I was going to modify a BRS 1.1 with a stepper motor, and I may still, just to turn that into an always working kind of doser that I can control the speed. I think that's it. I think I have hooked up my business. So we can now tell. Oopsie. I gotta plug this in. I keep doing that, right? Where's the little screw? So we can tell what kind of power, what kind of load we got on the battery. This should, the way it's hooked up, it should show load. It shouldn't show recharge, how much I'm putting back into the battery. Maybe it'll go backwards. I don't know. AliExpress bars come with a large, long, black tube. Got some strange looks from the husband. Oh. Well, that's fun. ALK equals 8.4. I do need to increase the ALK with calc. Yeah, 8.4 is cool. Great whitefish meat, not too fishy. Now I gotta try some snakehead. I need to go get some. I need to go fishing. I need to get the hell out of this house and go fishing. Okay with chasing. Went from calc. Just doing 2-part. Let's start dosing calc again. Yeah, that's what I would do. I would. So what you could easily do is figure out your 2-part. Oh look, no magic smoke. That's bitching. I figure out your 24-hour drop. Just stop dosing 2-part. Understand your 24-hour drop, and then use the calculator to determine your. Oh, now I got to plug something in to determine your how much calc to dose in place of the 2-part, and then just do that. Sorry, I'm not thinking. Sodium hydroxide for my ALK. J-Fusion. You're maxed out on calc. You're maxed out on calc. You're going to try sodium hydroxide. I'm assuming liquid. And then what are you doing for calcium? What I don't know is the interaction of sodium hydroxide with calc. I don't know what happens. Oh, I gotta look this up. I should take a picture. Can you DM me, John? And we'll figure something out. When I go out in the bay, Bud's boat, we go to the south. Yeah, a friend of my kids has a boat, and we were gonna head out. It looks like maybe I'm gonna go out on a charter with some work peeps, celebrating a successful almost 80-hour week. Yeesh. I'm not as young as I used to be. Those things hurt. Seaspiracy. Where is it, Taylor? I like watching stuff like that. Hook me up. Sodium hydroxide has pH of... Yeah, it does. I don't know its interaction with calc, though. That's all. Calculator post has a bunch of different products. Did you share it here? Because I don't see a link. Links get whacked. Maybe you can see it, but I can't see it. Send it to me, Reef or Phil, and I will. I can share it in the description of this video. Thanks, Paula Pal. That's cool of you. Yeah. See, sharing that AliExpress love. I love those things. Seriously, those are cheap. Those are. That's the price light should be. Let's put a load on this sucker. See if we can't let the magic smoke out. I just want to see if... what's this? Not this one. That happened. I just want to see if it indicates a load. So that's what I'm hoping. Did you ever put out the parts list for this that high? Said you would upload. I couldn't find it. So in the last video, when I did the Ecotech battery backup, you can't see it. I'm pointing to something that you can't see. In that description is the parts list for that project. In this video, there will be a parts list for this project. What do you think? Think it's going to show now? Watch that meter. Let's see what happens. Oh, you can see the sag. I think I'm going to turn the wires around on the... Well, I don't know. Do I want to see discharge or do I want to see incoming power? What do we think? Let's hook up the charger and see what happens. I haven't done that yet. Nothing like doing something live that you haven't done yet. That never gets sketchy, does it? Excuse me while I let the magic smoke out. Let's see if it charges. Oh yeah, look. That's cool. So what do we want to see? So on that shunt we installed, if you reverse the two small yellows, then it will show you discharge, amperage, and wattage. If you leave it like it is, this just shows... Actually, this is when you'll know that it's charged because the amperage drops down to 0. What do we think? Well, at least that works. Charger works. Power works. Everything works. We haven't caught anything on fire yet. There's still hope. I'm going to put some tape on that. Once I find my tape. And like I said, I will be soldering that and cleaning this crap up a little bit. But for right now, it's good. That's good. Ooh, here's some good fun fixing to happen. That would have been exciting. You really only need to cover up plus side, but whatever. All right, cool. Thanks, Phil. So, Casey, does that help? Wait a minute, I'm still catching up. Okay, cool. So that was the, that's if you want to make an Ecotech battery backup. This is for the price of an Ecotech battery backup. You can have this, which has absolutely more amp hours and more capability. I mean, it takes a little, whatever. You got to trust yourself and fiddle with the wires. This is only 12 volt. Right? So you're not going to hurt yourself. It's not like anything's going to go bad. What you don't want to do is short out these two on this battery because that's bad. And this thing, I mean, it'll stop. It'll turn itself off. So that's not that big of a deal. But, I mean, y'all can do this. Anybody can do this, I think. I don't think there's nothing that says, oh, let's turn these, that you can't do this. Netflix, Australia. I'll check it out, see if it's there. See if it's here. Can you use the AliExpress lights with the XHO bracket on Radions? So that's a little bracket. That bracket is for those little short. I don't get that either. That's something that doesn't. That's sheer marketing. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna add some super low par. See how that works? Now we have a sweet. Carryable battery that's charging with a meter that you can charge your phone. And power AC things like a 75. That's why I did this, right? So you could power a 75 watt heater if you wanted to. You're going to need more battery, but whatever. So yeah, why add while this thing charges? I think you guys get the idea here. I'm still deciding if I want to see discharge. I'm not sure that I care. Discharge instead of charge rates. So you take your XR15, XR30, whatever, and you hang it 9 inches above your tank. And then you take Reef Brights, tiny little Reef Brights, and you mount them way higher than they're intended to be used. And what's that cost? And then you get effectively zero benefit from the Reef Brights because they're up so high and their spread is so awesome that most of the light is not even entering the tank. I don't get that. It's sheer marketing. It is putting a Reef Bright name, which is a reefing household name, right? With a reefing household light from Ecotech. And hardly any measurable impact. Put a lensed bar up there because it's a little higher. It all blends by the time it gets to the water, gets the corals. So, but yeah, you can use the AliExpress lights, not necessarily with the XHO brackets, because those, like I said, are intended for those little shorty lights. But again, get yourself some Maker Beam, 10 millimeter extruded aluminum, and make your own bracket. Oh, I saw Uncle Randy mentioned in here. Let me get back to that. John, we use Maverick. Maverick boat captain is a cousin of a friend of mine. And we're always treated really well. Been out with him a couple times. So if you want to get out on the Chesapeake Bay and have a little fishing fun, and John's guys have not available, check out Maverick Charters. A lot of striper. We call them rockfish here in Maryland for whatever reason. A lot of that kind of stuff. We did a boat limit of last time out, a boat limit of stripers, then we switched over to white perch, and we all ate like kings afterwards. It was good. Yeah, we were drunk by 8 a.m. I'm going to use Uncle Randy's DIY 2-part high pH. You can use sodium hydroxide as the alk part, and then use BRS calcium. He claims it will boost pH higher than Kalkwasser. Agreed. J Fusion again. I have sodium hydroxide liquid downstairs that I may or may not play with. That totally makes sense to me. You just got to be careful with the sodium hydroxide. If you're using it in dry form, it's not good for you. Put 2 in so you can see both. I'm too slow to you, Thomas. Put 2 on what's. Anyway, you could just do a quick review of what you did and where the wires went when you're done. You said you did some of it before the live stream, and I'm not sure. I can make you a drawing, Casey. Is that cool? Hit me up on Instagram, and I will create a schematic, and then you could just follow the schematic. And then I will, that'll help actually. And then I'll add the parts list for this thing. So, seriously, this is super cool. Now, this battery's not available right now because whatever. These MyAndys are, they're sketchy on stock. It's like trying to buy Tropic Marin salt or an Ecotech Versa. Hard to find, but when you find them, grab them because they're decent batteries. Thomas, what do you tell me? Oh, yeah, I could. Do I really care though? I'm not sure I care. I'm really not sure I care about charge, so I may flip the wires around because the charger's got a light on it. It tells me when it's done. I mean, I can see. I don't think I care how much wattage I am putting into the battery. I think I care about how much wattage I'm taking out of it, to be quite honest. So I may turn them around. So yeah, Casey, sorry. Schematic, I'll make it easy with the parts list. That cool? So in the description of this, when I get to it, you'll find all of the stuff to make this. You got to figure out your own batteries because, like I said, this one's... You could do lead acids. They're just really, really heavy. You can't just easily pick this up with a finger. If it's a lead acid 20 amp hour, it's going to be way heavier. But you could do it. Or you could use those little 6 amp hour jobbers that I put in the Ecotech battery back there. You could pick your own battery. But then I'll also write this. I'll create the schematic so you have something to go by. So waste of money, in other words, Reef Doink, which is a waste of money. We got 32 people. That's not bad. White perch. Yeah, white perch is good. White perch is good. You telling me to be careful, John? The salt comment. Let me see what my magic number was. Because I'm done. This is what all I had to do. I just had to finish. Oh, yeah. I still got more stuff to do, right? I need to create the sockets so I can hook up the pumps, both the 12 volt and the 24 volt. I need to figure out how to label those so we don't mix them up. I can tell you that, and I'll get to that. Reef Doink. Yes. From my perspective, totally a waste of money. Because they're just so overpriced. I mean, you got 18 diodes in a 24-inch XHO. You got 18 diodes in an AliExpress. The difference between the two, AliExpress will put out a little more par, like 10 or 20 par more. AliExpress has lenses, so it has a little bit of a hot spot in the middle. Reef Bright has the most magical spread you're ever going to see from a 24-inch bar, but at $165, it's an incredible ripoff. Aluminum body, powder coated, it chips off. It looks like I've said it before, it looks like a middle school science project on the inside. It's just not cool. It's got wire nuts and hot glue. Maybe that's changed. I haven't seen a brand new one recently. I know Richard Aficionado from Reef.com just got a sweet setup. They also, Reef Bright makes longer lights that you can't get from AliExpress. So if you need to go long, you can't really do that with AliExpress. Their longest is a, what is it, a 48 inch? Can't go 60. So you're kind of stuck there. I mean, you could hot glue a couple together, but whatever. Bumblebee snails. I don't know if Lynn's still here. Maybe she can answer. I don't know. That's outside of my business. I don't think I even have any snails. I used to have snails, but they all went away. Something I did killed them, I guess. Oh, look, there's a text from Richard. Let me look here. I have a magic number if we want to go. What time is it? It's been an hour. Your odds just got better, people. I need a number from 1 to currently there are 34 viewers. Go. First person to get the magic number wins. Go, 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 go. You got to be in the U.S. Sorry, Australia. Go, 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 go. Just learn about calc. You don't use a stir. How often? You don't need to. Casey, you don't need to stir. Damn, 222s off the bat. No, you don't need to stir. You mix it up in a container and you shake it up and you're good to go. Now 35. Remember, this is my money, not theirs. I already saw it go by. I'm going to scroll up. I'm going to confirm so I'm not that guy. Scrolling up, scrolling up, scrolling up. Christopher. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. Christopher Hargerton. Did I say it right? Hargerton? People just keep typing numbers for the fun of. All right, that's that. Yeah, so 122. It was so close. Just went away. There was a couple 23s in there, right? Reef Doink. No, that's a 3-3. Gas Pipe. You had a 23, but Chris beat you to it with his 23. I got 2 2-2s and then a 2-3. The third one in, 23. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. There it is. Chris, are you on Instagram? If so, hit me up. That's the easiest way. Cool. Keep throwing numbers out there, Reef Doink. You get there. Save them up for the next time. What should I give away next? I've given away a CO2 scrubber from Maker of Things on Instagram. And now come more. I do have lots of lights. This little, I got a metric ass ton of these because I had a whole lot of these before I went over to the GHL dosers, and I'll probably keep all of the Maybe. I'll probably keep all of the used ones. Oh, we're done charging. We dropped to 0. That's badass. Don't you think that's badass? I wonder if I can pull. Can I hit this while it's... What happens? Do you think it'll turn the charger on? And then it'll start charging again? I wonder. Yep. Poof. And it starts charging again. That's freaking awesome. This works well. All right, let me catch up real quick. Oh, Lynn. Yeah, so these little pumps are cool. I wish they offered more. The number of doses per day was more. That would make me happy. But whatever. It's a very reliable little pump. It's a little 3-roller inside there. You can replace the tubing if you need to. They updated the app once and screwed up all of my pumps. That's the only time I've ever really been pissed at it. Other than that, they just work. If you lose power, hey, by the way, run these pump on a UPS. Put them on a little battery. Put them on a little UPS. Because if you lose power, they'll lose their time. And then you got to reconnect to them each time. But if you go get a $20 UPS from Staples or something like that, or you make your own. Hey, Simon. We just got a new subscriber. Thank you. Right? If you put it on a little UPS or make your own UPS or whatever with a tiny little inverter, then you won't have to worry about it. So just do it that way. Checking. And Apex. I'm not going to give away. Casey, the one thing I will never give away is an Apex. Oh, I am not going to restart. I'm going to restart later. Although I do like my Apex Junior. That thing's been bulletproof. I do like that. Adam. Adam, I want to keep my SLW5. I don't think I have any. I might have an SLW10. Lynn needs an XR30. Make 3D printed part and give it away. I can do that. Hey, if you need laser stuff too, look, I'm slow. Don't expect anything coming from me to be fast. Scott's fixing to find out how slow, or Christopher's fixing to find out how slow I truly am. I hope to get it out this week. There's less than a 50% chance that'll happen. But anyway, it's yours. I don't do Insta, but can get one real quick. Yeah, do that, or just email me. I mean, this username at Gmail gets me. Later, Candyman. Thanks. 12 is not enough. 12, agreed, is not enough. Well, at least I scored a Profilux 3 and Maxi Doser this week for under $300. That is legit. Nice that you got that Maxi. I would like to check out a Maxi. I have actually hit up GHL to see if I could buy some parts so I can make my own. I've not tried the Pro. I like the $59 price point, right? I think this thing at $59, and then Reef Doink, I have one of those, but I'm not going to give it away. If I hit up GHL, maybe. I like this when it goes cheap, too. This thing for $45 or whatever it is, 40-something. It's a steal. I don't know. What does the Pro give me that... I mean, if the Pro gives me more than 12 doses a day, that'd be pretty cool. Don't know. All right, that's it. Price list. Schematic. What else y'all need out of this thing? I'm pretty psyched about this. Ooh, it's almost done charging. It's fixing to drop down. And we can go from there. It's going to stop here in a second. cheaper. Hey, Kevin, how's that shroom? That thing make it okay? You like that little shroom container, doohickey? I think you got one that actually says Shroom Saver on the outside. 24 doses with Wi-Fi. Yeah, that's a little better. I'm with Lynn in that I don't want it to be Wi-Fi unless it has to be. So if you could give me 24 doses on a Bluetooth X1, then I'd be super happy. Shroom Canoe, or whatever you call it. Shroom Cocoon. Where can I buy? Adam, you got access to a 3D printer? Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it. I want to see if Kevin jumps back in and tells me how that shroom's doing. That was one of, I think that was one of Mighty Nanotank's Superman shroomage. Yeah, if you don't, whatever, hit me up. Hit me up on Instagram. If you don't have, I owe some people some of these already, but if you don't have access to a 3D printer, then I'll sell them cheap. If you need them with a plug, whatever, they'll still be cheap. Because I use Reef Creators Black. Got a hole in the top plugs, and they fit right in this little hole. Well, Adam, hit me up. Looks like I'm shelling you a shroom cocoon, shroom saver, shroom lagoon, shroom whatever the hell. You can get shroom holders pretty cheap yeah. You can also get them here. Most likely cheaper. Yeah, cool. It's really nice. Got to cut zips off. Just pop the zips off. They're just super glued on top. They'll pop right off. You're a working man. I understand that. Yep. Okay. Cool. I think that's it. I hope this was not as boring as it felt. Shroom Lagoon. Like I said, parts list, schematic. You get that. You can make your own. You can see how easy this truly is. And go out there and don't let the magic smoke out and get to work. At $350 each is a lot of money, Lynn, for this is a little single one. That's absolutely more money than I'll charge. By a lot. I base it on how much stupid filament I'm using, right? Oh, that little random flow generator's done. And if you could deal with me being slow, slow's cheap, right? Slow's cheap. How much does VCA get for these? Because this is perfect. Oh, that's going to be a screenshot. That's unfortunate. There you go. Fish a hex. $2. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not going to undersell Travis. Travis is doing a good job. Yeah, Travis sells his stuff for a good price. He's not trying to rip people off. It costs, I can do that math. It's actually a little more than that with the lid. It is probably 20 cents worth of filament. Something like that. I'd have to do the math. $25 for 2 of them with adapters. Oh, these things? Oh, that's not cool because this is lock line. This is all set up for a lock line right there. That's the end. I think this is the size I have on my tank. I'm going to go put this on it and see what happens. Yeah, Travis has a couple printers in his basement, doesn't he? That's pretty cool. Lynn did have a 3D printer. I don't know what happened. She may have sold it. Adam, I saw the SL10 and SL20 guards that Travis was selling, and I agree. Those are a good deal. Those are a good price. This thing's pretty awesome. I gotta run some water through it and see what happens. Did you? Yeah, did you sell that? You sold that 3D printer, Lynn? I think you did. Oh, Thomas has it. Got it. I gotta hook up with Thomas. How's he been doing? I haven't seen him. I gotta hit him up. I still have his fish trap. I want to give him that blue tang I have. OG, you want 4 of them? Hit me up. I'll create a spreadsheet. I'll share it. Someday when I have more time, I will definitely try it again. Roger that. All right, Al. I'm going to jump off. Cool. There you go. Scott will help you out. All right, this one's a little slow. I hope you all have a good week. All right. That's why he's been so quiet. He has a new baby. Oh, I got you. I'll hit him up. I'll see how he's doing. I got one of his stickers over here. He sent me a sticker, which I thought was really cool of him. Semper Fi Sea Coral. That's a fancy sticker, too. There's a lot going on here. All right, I'm jumping. Have a good night. Have a good week. I hope this was semi-informative. Hopefully, when I provide more data, it'll be more informative. And maybe you can make your own. Maybe you can save yourself some money and make one that's super cool. Cool? All right, y'all. Let me move my button over here. Happy reefing. Happy DIYing. That's what we got to say, right? And be kind, everybody. Thanks. Later.